Okay, so down on the mat, knees bent if you have any tension in the lumbar spine. Otherwise, legs straight and roll outward. Roll the arms outward, palm of the hand facing the sky. Slide the shoulder blades toward the waist. And keep the shoulder blade flat onto the ground. Pull the back of your head away from the shoulders, allowing the neck to move toward the ground without activating the muscles of your neck. Just use your gravity, your position. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with your mouth. Release all tensions. One more time. Relax your forehead, eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Relax your eyes and let them sink deeper into the skull. Relax the skin of your face. Unclench your jaw and let your lips open slightly. Relax your throat. Relax your neck and shoulders. Arms, forearms and hands. Relax your back, the muscles of your back and your spine, vertebra per vertebra. Relax your belly and the whole abdominal area. Allow your belly to move with every breath. Relax your hips, your groins. Relax your legs, knees, ankles and feet. Bring your attention into your breathing cycle and start observing every aspect of your breathing cycle. Which part of your body moves the most, chest or belly? If both moves, which one moves first? Observe without changing anything. Observe simply to know yourself. Observe the length of your breathing cycle. Inhalation and exhalation have the same length, or one of them is naturally longer. Observe the small pauses between inhalation and exhalation, and between exhalation and inhalation, small moments where everything stops, even your breath. Become aware of the 4 phases of your breathing cycle. Inhalation, pause, exhalation, pause. And even there, observe. Is one of the 2 pauses longer? Observe also that your throat remain relaxed and open, even during the pauses. 3 more observing breaths. At the end of the 3rd, take control and create a long, slow, and steady breath. Observe your lungs expanding with every inhalation. Observe your chest and your belly gently contracting with every exhalation. Keep a long, slow, and steady breath. Become more and more aware of every small change in your body due to your breath. Observe your body, observe your breath. Keep it long and steady. Observe your belly and chest expanding with every inhalation and contracting with every exhalation. Long, slow, and steady breath. Observe the muscles of your rib cage activating toward the end of the inhalation to keep the chest open. Become aware of those small muscles. Give a long, slow, and steady breath. Observe your belly becoming wider with every inhalation. Observe your navel moving down toward the spine with every exhalation. Long, slow, and steady breath. And now, move to an abdominal breath. So only the belly moves, not the chest. So focus on the belly and allow the belly to move more and more with every breath. Observe the diaphragm moving down with every inhalation and gently up into the rib cage with every exhalation. Long, slow, and steady breath. Allow your belly to move. The more the belly moves, the more the diaphragm will move. The more your lungs will be ready to allow more air. Three more abdominal breaths. At the end of the third breath, go to a thoracic breath. So now it's the chest that moves, that open mainly to the side to allow more air into your lungs, but keep the abdominal muscles gently activated in order to not move your belly and focus just on the chest. So allow your chest to expand to the side. Allow your rib cage, the ribs, moving away from each other. More space between the ribs. Still keeping a long and steady breath. With every inhalation, expand more and more to the side of your rib cage. Observe the muscles of your rib cage activating more and more with every inhalation. And keeping this thoracic breath, focus on the pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. The normal pause. That is more moment where everything stops, even your breath. And still keeping your thoracic breath, still pushing the rib cage to the side, expanding your rib cage to your maximum. At the end of the inhalation, lengthen this pause without closing your throat, your glottis, but just using the muscles of your rib cage to create this sort of suspension, suspended breath. So inhale, activate the muscles of your rib cage, stay there a little bit longer than usual, and then exhale. Thus becoming more and more aware of your body. And now you can move it in a more conscious way. Keep this thoracic breath with the suspension without closing your throat between inhalation and exhalation. If you can now suspend your breath for longer than usual, it's not the end of the world. But become aware of your possibilities. Maybe you're not ready today. You will be tomorrow. So inhale, feel on your chest. The belly doesn't move. At the end of the inhalation, create the suspension by activating more consciously the muscles of your rib cage to keep the rib cage open just for a few seconds, and then allow the rib cage to contract again for the exhalation. Allow the air to flow away and empty your lungs. With every inhalation, try and go deeper and deeper into this breath. Create a deeper and deeper breath. Go beyond your maximum. Now I want you to be aware of every small tension. So you have to feel the tension. So inhale to your maximum. Feel the tensions on the muscles of your rib cage, around your chest, around the diaphragm. Become aware of the tensions. Create the suspension, and then exhale. Three more breaths, thoracic breaths. At the end of the third, come back to a normal breath. And observe your breath becoming lighter and lighter. More and more silent. Observe the chest now not moving that wide. Observe that you don't have the same tensions. Now, put your feet a bit closer to the, so bend your knees, keep your feet closer to your buttocks. Arms roll outward with the palm of the hand facing the sky still. 3 breaths.
Inhale deeply. And with exhalation, move your neck toward the ground without contracting the muscles around your throat. Keep your throat as much as you can relaxed, but move the neck toward the ground. To do so, you can push the back of your head away from the shoulders a little bit more, thus lengthening your spine. With every inhalation, release all muscles. With every exhalation, push the lumbar spine and neck toward the ground. To push the lumbar spine toward the ground, you can push it with your feet against the ground to create a rotation of the hips. One more time. With the exhalation, lumbar spine and neck toward the ground. Okay. Now put your arms in cactus mode. So with the elbows in line with the shoulders and the forearm parallel to each other. And 3 more breaths with the same technique. Inhale freely. And with exhalation, lumbar spine and neck toward the ground. Gently. It's just a gentle lengthening. With the inhalation, release. And with the exhalation again, lumbar spine and neck toward the ground. And one more time. Okay. Bring your knees toward the chest, but keep your arms in cactus mode. Okay. Now straighten your legs up to the sky and put your feet flex. Put your heels together and open the feet to the side, like you want to do a sort of Chaplin stance. So the feet, toes point outward, and the heels touch. 3 breaths. Now, still keeping this position for the legs and feet, use the same technique of breathing that we did before. So inhale freely, and with the exhalation, push lumbar spine by activating the abdominal muscles now, and the neck toward the ground. Inhale, release. Now the legs. With the exhalation, lumbar spine and neck toward the ground. Keep your throat relaxed. It's just the back of your neck working. Inhale, release. And with exhalation again, lumbar spine and neck. Bend your knees. Roll on your right side. Push with the left hand to sit up. Take the 2 blocks and sit on the back of the mat. Okay. Now, check to have the big toes touching at exactly the same level. Knees as wide as the mat. Take the blocks and walk forward until you can have the forearms over the blocks and the arms completely straight. Palm of the hand facing down, facing the ground, okay. Keep the arms straightened and push the arms back into the shoulder socket. Now, look at your hands.
3 breaths. Look at your hands, 3 breaths. Push the chest down, but keep on looking at your hands. And at the end of the 3rd breath, allow your head to move down toward the ground. Keep the arms active. Close your eyes, 3 breaths. And at the end of the 3rd breath, really gently come back up. Okay, now let's be gentle. Take the bolster. The bolster. Not exactly on the middle of the mat, but a little bit toward the front of the mat. Then take 1 block and put it in the middle position, the 2nd position, and put it quite close to the bolster. Okay. The 2nd one, put it just in the 1st position, so in the lower position, not too far from the block. Sit over the bolster with your sacrum. Keep your knees bent, feet firmly on the ground. Lay down over the 1st block, so you can check to have the block aligned by entering the position with the elbows down, and really slowly lay down with the spine over the block, and the end of the block have to be in between the shoulder blades. It's not super comfy, but it's not that hot either. Doesn't have to be. Pay attention not to have the block too close to the neck. Knees bent. Okay. Once that you have the 1st block in place, take the 2nd one and put it just behind your head. So you will have a support on your head. Now, put your arms in cactus pose. So elbows in line with the shoulders and forearms parallel to each other. Even in this position, gently push with your feet against the ground in order to push the lumbar spine toward the ground. Obviously, it's not gonna touch the ground, but the position, the direction is there. Same thing with the neck. Push the back of your head away from the shoulder to lengthen the lumbar spine and to lower your neck without contracting your throat. Close your eyes and stay there. Staying there, observe where you can feel the tensions. Now, start creating a breathing cycle like we did before in the abdomen, in the thoracic part. So inhale deeply on your chest, expand your chest by contracting gently your abdominal muscles in order not to move your belly, or not a lot anyway.
Push the rib cage to the side. Create the suspension. Still by using the muscles of your rib cage. And then release. Inhale. Feel up your lungs on your chest. So expand the chest to the side. At the end of the inhalation, create a suspension. Relax your face and clench your jaw. And release. One more time. Relax your face. Exhale. And stay there. Listen to the messages of your body. Relax your face, your throat. Last moments. Now really gentle. Put your elbows down. Down on the ground. Move your chin toward the base of the throat to lift your head. And then push with the elbows against the ground, lift your torso. Put your hands down on the ground and lift your body completely. Okay. Now move your blocks and bolster. And sit in a tabletop position. Hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Create circles with your hips and lumbar spine, both on one side and on the other side. Okay, now keep your knees wider than your hips. Not as wide as the mat, but just a bit wider than your hips. Roll the arms outward, slide the shoulder blades toward the waist, keep the shoulders away from their ears, belly in, navel toward the spine, and keeping the navel toward the spine, walk forward with your hands, lowering your chest. Keep the arms straight, allow the head to move down toward the ground. Keep the arms active till the very tip of your fingers. Keep the shoulders away from their ears all time. Push the chest down, but the lumbar spine up. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, roll your hips forward and push the chest even more down toward the ground. Breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, activate your arms even more. Roll your hips backward, but keep the chest as much as you can down. Keep on rolling the hips forward, backward, and push lumbar spine up. 3 breaths. Feel the tension around the shoulder blades.
and really gently come up. Okay, seat on your heels, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, put your hands over the thighs and create circles with your lumbar spine and your hips, both on one side and on the other side. Sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Roll your arms outward and twist to the right. Keep the arms straight. Push the right shoulder back and to the left. Look behind you, 3 breaths. At the end of the third, come back to center. And change sides, so twist to the left. Both arms straighten, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, belly in. Push the left shoulder to the right. 3 breaths. And at the end of the third, come back to center. Tabletop position. Again, create circles with your lumbar spine. Both on one side and on the other side. And now put your elbows down on the ground. Interlace your fingers. Keep the shoulders, keep the elbows a little bit closer than the shoulders. Push the elbows against the ground in order to move the shoulders away from the head. Okay. Now walk forward with your knees just a little bit. Tuck your toes under. Inhale deeply. And with the exhalation, still pushing the elbows against the ground, lift your buttocks up and push the chest over the toes. 3 breaths. At the end of the third breath, move your chest and shoulders forward and touch with your nose your hands. Inhale, and with the exhalation, move the chest over the toes again. Inhale. With the exhalation, move forward. Inhale, and with the exhalation, move back. One more time. Inhale forward. Inhale and back. Child pose for 3 breaths. At the end of the third breath, go back into the same position. So elbows down on the ground, interlace the hands. Elbows a bit closer than the shoulders. And now I want you to walk a little bit more toward the elbows. Even more. Even more. Okay, now it's good. Now, tuck your toes under. Push with the elbows against the ground and lift your buttocks. Push the chest over the toes, 3 breaths. You can do it. Keep on pushing. Now inhale. And with the exhalation, lean forward. Nose to the head, the hands, and back. Inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. One more time. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Knees down. Put your hands down on the ground.
Keep your knees now wide as the mat. Put your toes, big toes in touch. Roll the arms outwards, lie the shoulder blades over the waist. And keeping the shoulders away from the ears, move the chest forward and arch your spine. 3 breaths. And back to center, to a natural position. Put your hands over your thighs, sternum, lift the shoulder blades down. Roll the right arm outward. Push a thumb to the left. Push a shoulder to the left. Now, put your left hand outside of your right leg and use this grip to go further into the twist. Look behind you, 3 breaths. At the end of the third, come back to center. Now, twist to the left, roll the left arm outward, push the thumb to the right, go to your maximum, and then use your right hand outside of your left leg to go even further. 3 breaths. And back to center. Take the bolster again and put the bolster roughly in the middle of the mat. Now I want you to put your, the position is not equal for everyone. Someone will need to have the bolster a little bit more toward the chest, the lower part of the chest. Some other more on the belly, some other almost on the hip. So I cannot really tell you which position you have to have. But the idea is to put your central part of your body over the bolster in order to be able to lift your chest completely off the floor, legs still down on the ground, while you roll the arms outward. So you have to find your position. Okay, that's really good. Stay there for 3 breaths. At the end of the third, put your hands down, put your arms down, and lay down. 3 breaths. At the end of the third breath, lift your head again, shoulders, arms, roll the arms outward. But now I want you to bend your knees. 3 breaths. And back down again. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, lift your head, shoulders, roll your arms inward now, so to have the palm of the hand facing each other, so not too much, yes. Bend your knees and try and grab your feet. If they're really far away, you can use the belt, but there it is, okay. Yes, yes, yes. And release. Okay. Release completely. We're gonna do it one more time, but I want you to grab your feet. The feet that it was harder to grab, I want you to grab first. So in order to grab your feet easier,
we're gonna enter in a slightly different way. You can always use a belt in case, but put your left arm down on the ground, forearm down on the ground. Okay, push with the elbows against the ground and gently twist to the right. Bend both feet and grab with your right hand your right feet. I think that it's easier to grab in this position. Okay. Now it's gonna be harder. So you're gonna activate your abdominal muscles, activate your lumbar spine muscles, lift your chest, and grab the other feet. There you go. 3 breaths. Activate your abdominal muscles a little bit more. Activate your lumbar spine muscles in order to lift your chest even more. Yes, beautiful. And now release. Push with the hands against the ground. Sit on your heels. Take the bolster, put the bolster in between your knees and lay down over the bolster. 5 breaths with the hand facing right. 5 breaths with the head facing left. Allow your body to relax. At the end of the 5th breath, come back up. Now, we already kind of worked on all the back. So I want to do an upgraded version of the first exercise that we did with the bolster and blocks. So we're just going to use the 2 blocks. The first block, you put it in the first position, so in the lower position, roughly in the middle of the mat. The second one, you put it in the second position, in the middle position, quite close to the first block. So now you're gonna use the first block for the sacrum and the second block for the spine. So you don't have the block for the head. If it's a little bit too much for you today, you can use a folded blanket and put it just, I'm gonna show you with a folded blanket too, so it'll be easier. So the folded blanket is a little bit lower than the first position. That is the idea. You can even fold it even less, just to have a bit of cushioning, but not that much. If you feel that you don't need that, you can just move it. Okay, so sacrum over the first block. So it's not the buttocks, it's just the sacrum. Knees bent. Same thing, adjust your second block by sitting on your elbows. The second block has to end right at the upper part of the shoulder blades, but not touching the neck. And there, you push the back of your head away from the shoulders and move the head down. Arms in cactus pose. So in this position, you're gonna feel a lot more the pressure of the edge of the second block against your back. The idea is to keep the block, this edge,
roughly under the sacrum. So the block, what it does is just push your chest up in order to open the chest around your sacrum. So stay there, keep on pushing the back of the head away from the shoulders. Listen to your body. So if you don't use the folded blanket, or if you use it at halfway, and if you feel tension on the neck or some other areas that you're not really working on, then put back the folded blanket. Really listen to the messages of your body. The neck is free, and the folded blanket, in case, is just under your occiput. Now, for 3 breaths, I want you to activate your abdominal muscles in order to push the lumbar spine down. So inhale. With exhalation, push the lumbar spine down in order to touch the edge of the other side of the block. Release. Inhale freely, inhale fully. Expanded your chest to your maximum. And start pushing with the feet against the ground to push your spine toward the block, also in the lower edge, the edge that is around your lumbar spine. And release again. Inhale deeply. With exhalation, move the lumbar spine toward the block and stay there. Push with the feet against the ground. In case, you can even lift your hips completely. 3 breaths. And release. Straighten your arms to the side. Inhale. With exhalation, push with the feet against the ground. Take your tailbone under and lift your hips. So now your sacrum is no longer touching the block. So the whole weight of your body is on the block under the spine. Don't allow any weight on the head. The head is light over the folded blanket or on the ground, whichever is more comfortable for you. Now, still keeping the hip higher, put your arms in cactus pose again. 3 breaths. And for the exhalation, gently move your neck toward the ground without contracting your throat. So it's a gentle move. At the end of the third, we will sacrum back down onto the block. Lift your head. Move the chin toward the base of the throat. Put your elbows down on the ground. Push with the elbows against the ground. Walk back with the elbows in order to support completely your chest. Stay there for 3 breaths. And then push with the hands against the ground. Lift completely up your chest and body. Move the blocks and folded blanket away. Cross leg position, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down, roll the arms outward, push the thumbs back. And expand your chest. Imagine that you still have the edge behind your sacrum, pushing your sacrum forward. And observe how it helps expanding your lungs and breathing deeper and deeper. Now, 3 breaths, creating a breath that starts on the belly, so the belly moves first, and then moves up to the chest, expanding the chest. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, still keeping the chest open, so exhale first on the belly, and then on the chest. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, belly, chest. And one more time, lift your sternum. Imagine that you still have the edge pushing your sternum forward. And release your arms. Create circles with your lumbar spine. Both on one side and on the other side. And tabletop position. Prepare for Adho Mukha Svanasana. So arms right on, hands right under the shoulders. Attention on the upper extension. Roll the arms outwards, slide the shoulder blades over the waist. Small step back with your knees. Put your feet as well as mat. Tuck your toes under. Inhale. With the exhalation, enter Adho Mukha Svanasana. Still imagine to have the edge of the block still pushing. Focus on those feelings. Recreate those feelings. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, walk back with your hands. Put your hands on your waist. Bend your knees and come up. Okay, now we're gonna use the wall. So put your, I'm gonna show you on that side. So I want you to put your hands against the wall, a little bit lower than your shoulders. I want you to keep your shoulders perpendicular to the wall. Arm completely straight. Sternum, lift the shoulder blades down. Roll the arm outward also. Now step forward in order to stretch a little bit more the shoulder area, shoulder and chest. 3 breaths. Now, at the end of the 3rd breath, 3 more breaths, but bending your elbows. So while you bend your elbow, the effect on the shoulder is that the shoulder lowers down, and you stretch even more that lower shoulder area. 3 breaths. And release. Same thing on the other arm. So put your hands a little bit lower than the shoulders. Keep the shoulders perpendicular to the wall. Roll the outer arm outward and push the thumb back, belly in. Keep the arm straight. And walk forward in order to stretch deeper that area. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd breath, bend your elbow in order to lower your shoulder. 3 more breaths.
and relax. Okay. Now, Tadasana with wide legs. Keep the arms completely straight. Leg straight. Tuck the shoulder under, belly in, but sternum lifted. Imagine that you still have this edge of the block pushing your spine forward. Lower your shoulders and push the back of your head away from the shoulders. So you want to lower the shoulders, but lift the back of the head. Okay, now close your eyes. And observe every feeling that you have. Keep on moving the shoulders down and the head and back of the head up. And release. Now, Tadasana with 2 feet together. Exactly the same thing. Close your eyes, belly in, push the shoulders down, and head and back of the head up. 3 breaths. And observe the feelings, the emotions. At the end of the 3rd breath, open your eyes. Find the Vristi. Lean on the left leg, lift the right leg, open the right knee to the side and put your right feet against the left leg. Keep the left legs gently bent, just to be more reactive. Now, roll the arms outward and keeping the shoulders as low as you can, lift your arms up at 45 degrees. And even in this position, imagine still to have the edge of the block pushing your sternum forward. Lift your chin a little bit more. 3 breaths. At the end of the 3rd, lower your arms, your feet. Find again your Tadasana and recreate the same movement. So belly in, shoulders down, but head and back of the head up. Find Vristi. Lean on the right leg, lift the left one. Open the left knee to the side and put your left feet in contact with the right leg. Keep the right leg bent, sternum lifted, shoulder blades down. Roll the arms outward, arms active. And keeping the shoulders down, lift your arms at 45 degrees. Lift your chin. And while focusing on this pose, try and observe also the feelings. I know it's balanced pose, so it's not super easy to concentrate on anything else, but try and listen. Keep your chin lifted. Not too much. And go back into Tadasana now. Close your eyes. And just feel. Observe the feelings, the emotions. Open your eyes, get down on the ground again.
Knees bent with the feet quite close to the buttocks. Roll the arms outward. And push the hands toward the feet. Slide the shoulder blades toward the waist. And push the back of the head away from the shoulders. Inhale. And with the exhalation, push with the feet against the ground to lift your hips. Tag the tailbone under. Keep on pushing with the feet against the ground to lift your torso too. Move the base of the throat toward the chin. 3 breaths. At the end of the third, really slowly come back down and take the block, one block, and put the block in between your knees. Okay. Same thing, inhale. With the exhalation, lift your hips, push with the feet against the ground, tag the tailbone under, keep on pushing. And now you have to keep the block in between the shoulder, the knees. 3 breaths. And lower your hips again. One more time, inhale. With the exhalation, push with the feet against the ground, lift your hips, tuck the tailbone under. Base of the throat toward the chin, 3 breaths. At the end of the third, lower your hips. Bring the knees over the chest. Take the block and put it out. Grab the 2 knees with the arms and roll right and left side. Whenever you want to, you can move into Shavasana.
Take everything you need to be comfortable in Shavasana. Just for the first moments, observe all the parts of your body that worked in a different way. And observe your breath, that with all those opening of the chest, maybe you will feel easier to expand your chest now. And observe also the feelings. So different levels of awareness before relaxing completely. At the end of the Shavasana, as usual, I'm gonna chant the mantra. And at the end of the mantra, I'm gonna guide you out of the pose. Till that moment, just relax.
Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonat Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonat Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonat Prachodayat. Really slowly. So moving your toes and fingers. Bring back the awareness into your body. Inhale deeply and exhale fully with your mouth. Release all tensions. One more time. Gently stretch your body. Bend your knees. And roll on your right side. Stay on your right side for a brief moment before sitting on a comfortable position for the chant of 3 Om. Keep your spine straight yet relaxed. Hands in Inara Mudra, Uchin Mudra. Eyes closed. Even there, lift your chin gently. Inhale deeply. Put your hands in prayer position in front of the chest. Open your eyes. Namaste.